is Andrea from Rock Freaks. It was such a great opportunity for me to be introduced to you guys through this the channel.
Yeah.
Because right now, ahead of a new launch that you just had of your new material, I think it's the right time, with the change of the season to also bring you closer to our audience. Essentially, I know about you guys that you're based in Helsinki. So you have been active from 2024, so recently, and you had already your previous material, and now it's a breath of new life into your musical roster. Have you celebrated already the release? Because you just had it on 24th of April.
It's been received like really well. We have had some really great feedback, but I don't think that we really fully understand yet that it's out. Because it's just happened, and well, we've had the physical copies in our hands for a little while already because we printed it really in advance to get it early enough to the record stores and that kind of stuff. So we have been sitting on it for a little while, and we haven't celebrated it yet. But this week we have 2 album release parties in Helsinki and Turku, the other city in Finland. So I think we will celebrate then very soon.
That's very good. And basically, I've listened to the material. I've listened to your previous material as well. And I really must say that listening to your X Generation Superstars, the 2024 release, I already pinpointed a couple of songs that I really, really liked. And of course, like I said, we're not of the same generation, but still the genre maintains its relevancy still in 2026. So I can tell you for a fact that having listened then to Nightmares and Broken Dreams as a comparison, I could already feel like the energy that you bring to the stage. And, from the songs, like I think Devil's Beat is one of my favorites out of the new material.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It has that vibe. And, I love the lyrics as well. I think the energy and the live performance really is something that really characterizes you guys, right? So tell me, in 2026, when we have a lot of core, we have a lot of genre bending, we have a lot of experimentation with the sound, how do you maintain DHARMA GUNS classic, still acutely ingrained in your ethos, in your identity as a band, while still being relevant to the current scene?
Well, it's old school rock and roll, and it's all we can do. We can't do these sound experiments that some other musicians are able to do. I can only play guitar, a little bit bass, and then I do the singing for the first time ever with this band. But I think that the rock and roll, like guitar-orientated rock and roll, it comes and goes, and now it's again coming. So we're in the right moment in timeline of music at the moment. I have a feeling that there are plenty of this kind of like classic action rock or rock and roll bands in Helsinki coming up right now. And I don't know, I think that why maybe somebody thinks that we're in the front line, maybe we are, but it's also that we have been doing shitloads of work to be here, like be in the front line. We when we started this band 2.5 years ago, we went immediately to studio to record X Generation Superstars. And then we started doing the gigs. And after 1 year of playing together, we already published our first album. Usually bands put out singles at that point. So we were like kind of like rushing forward. Then a little over a year, and now we have our second album already out. So I think that's why we stand out from the mass of guitar rock bands, because there is all the time happening something with us. We release singles or albums and that kind of stuff.
I'm very happy to hear that. And exactly, you said it, like you're constantly on the roll and you're constantly promoting material online as well. Like I've seen some of your music videos, and I reckon that you do it independently and you come up with the creative direction and the vision yourselves. And this is also very refreshing, because I love to see that level of authenticity, especially in in the genre that is a little bit different than the modern take on metal music that you see nowadays dominating the scene. So I do see the relevancy right now, and also about touring and the fact that you guys, I've read that you actually plan to go on a European tour beyond Finland as well, which is really great. And UK, is that correct?
We are going to UK now. In the end of May, we have this mini tour, 4 gigs coming down from Edinburgh to London. But we haven't got any dates for like Germany or Denmark
Okay.
just yet. Hopefully we will. We are just trying to work on the fall gigs right now.
That's really great to hear because, my next point of discussion would be in the touring scene right now, like you're going for it, you're pursuing and you're promoting. Do you think like the people resonate still with the genre nowadays, even internationally? How is the reception of your style? Because you kind of term it like a dandy rock, a little bit of a
Yeah.
rock and boogie. Also, like there's this really cool keyword that I like, Scandi action rock.
In the end of 90s, there was this scene, Scandinavian action rock. It came with the Helicopters, Backyard Babies, Turbo Negro from
Mhm.
Norway, and I think DAD from Denmark is kind of a godfather. We're on the same path with those bands, and I think all those bands they were inspired by the Stooges, MC5, Lords of the New Church, New York Dolls, and then maybe punkier bands like Ramones and Sex Pistols and that stuff. But I think we are on the same track with those bands. And since, well, Helicopters is still playing, but I think it's been a few years, like I said in the beginning, that the guitar rock comes and goes, and now it's coming back again. And I think the fans, the people who used to listen to Helicopters already back in the day and other Scandinavian action rock, they might be hungry for something new to happen in that scene, and here we are, masses.
Exactly. And what's your take actually on exactly this point? Given the fact that the online communities are so strong right now in promoting and cross-promoting music, hard music, what would be your stance or your plans, for example, of getting more visibility onto Dharma? Because, there's YouTube, there's Instagram, there's TikTok right now that are very high. Do you have any kind of intentions of really going, full on with your content?
Well, we need an expert to help us maybe, but we do have all those accounts. We do Instagram daily, we do Facebook daily, even though that's a boomer channel. But anyway, we use that. We have TikTok. We have done music videos on all our singles. We have like 9 official music videos in YouTube. I think it's also the same as playing live. It's the same problem that people need to find you.
Exactly.
And there are so many things that are promoting themselves in the social media.
Which brings me to my next point about your Nightmares and Broken Dreams. After listening to the songs, and a couple of songs really stood out to me, I really felt like there is this note of resistance and resilience from you guys as a band to try to still make it onto the journey that seems never ending, into navigating these murky waters of the industry and of the music scene, and really kind of standing out and standing off as a voice within your genre. So I would like to kind of know, what were your sentiments when writing the new material? What was the vision essentially that made Nightmares and Broken Dreams actually, let's say, a path forward from the darkness to the light?
Well, I think we are still in the darkness if you think about the world we're living in. But I don't know, it's lyrically the album is very dark. Like I have a background playing in this kind of activist anarch rock bands and taking a stand on this and that and trying to make the world better place. I have done other stuff as well, but that's my like background and that's my calling somehow. And like we talked about the first album, it was about the generational gaps and like life choices. How did I end up here? What has happened? This album, because the world is on fire and it can't, like it affects on my lyrics. Yeah. So you can hear it from the opening track, Shock O'Clock, because it's shock o'clock somewhere all the time in the world. So that kind of set the theme for the album. We are living quite dark times, so it's quite dark album. And it's on purpose that our last song, called The Voice of the Underdogs, the lyrics end up with words, be fucking kind, because though it's
Amen.
quite dark album, we wanted to leave a glimmer of hope in the end.
Beautiful that you can actually translate that sentiment musically into a full-fledged album that actually is that type of stance of resilience,
Yeah.
above everything that's happening wrongly in our world. And I believe that this is truly the
Yeah.
power of music. And I can't wait actually to see you guys live in the sense of translating that sentiment onto the scene, because I think it's going to be wild to see the people just,
Yeah.
feeling not only the energy and the feel good of your rhythmical music, but also the idea that, hey, we could still make a good difference in the world, right?
But I think we are quite a good live band, or at least worth checking out, because everybody in the band is really like has given everything to this band. Like when we started, when I was asking these guys to join me with DHARMA GUNS, 2 out of 3 left all the other bands they were playing with because they really believed in this. So I think that shows in our playing and songwriting and whatever we do, that we are really like into this stuff ourselves.
That's really good to hear. I'm very stoked to hear that, because a passion, putting so much passion into your passion project nowadays, the moment that it feels like, oh my God, I have to do it for the sake of doing it, it kind of like defeats the whole purpose of the artistry. And me
Yeah.
as a melomaniac, as a music consumer and a live music goer, to hear that from a band, I mean, it's I
Yeah.
put my faith in you then. So yeah,
Great.
where should we expect you next on the roster of touring?
3 weeks from now is the UK tour, and
Okay,
then
amazing.
some summer gigs in Finland, and then we are working on the fall, but we haven't published any gigs yet.
Okay. Are you
Hopefully,
planning any festivals or any kind of like bigger
no,
venues?
small festivals. It's a very small group of people who work for DHARMA GUNS
And
at
look
the
at
moment, at least.
the fact that you're still running through and you're planning an international tour, that only, goes to show that you put a lot of effort and passion, and people do care about that. Like you said, like bandmates left other bands to join you, and that's a big statement. That's a huge
Yeah.
move. And tell me, because I'm very curious now, we have touched upon this and how you guys got together. Tell me, what is the specificity or something truly unique about your writing process when you come together in the studio and you decide to actually give life to your new material, and what that would be? How's the process like?
Well, I'm the songwriter in the band, so I usually do music and lyrics, and then I make a demo. There will be drum loops, and then I play guitars and bass and do the vocals myself. And then I send the demo to the guys, and they get the idea of my vision for the song. Like, okay, this is an action rocker, this is a little calmer song, this is a punk rocker, whatever. So then we go to the practice room, and everybody has kind of like done their homework at that point, like how the song goes, and we can immediately start playing it from the start until the end, and then I think everybody just brings something from themselves to the song. But I must say that both 2 albums that we have released so far, we have played live in the studio. Like there's drums, bass, rhythm guitars, everything played live, and then afterwards we record guitar solos, percussion, and vocals. So I think it gives also the certain groove for our playing if we play together and we can watch each other's faces. We know how the songs go, but we also like share the magic of playing together in the studio.
It's a good point you made. I had a really good conversation recently about how the music scene right now is quite saturated with so much instrumentalization and the programmatic take on creating music. Like you do it so automatized right now. And sometimes it feels like it lacks the soul. It lacks that element of, wow, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to actually express? And with you guys, with DHARMA, I feel like you're such a breath of an echo from the past, but still so fresh in the current situation, and also towards the future. Because I am a different generation, as I've said, but grew up on my father's playlists and on my father's backgrounds, And this whole sentiment is kind of like what I wish to instill in myself moving forward into the generations that come. And I feel with bands like yours and sound that is so classic but so yet relevant, this is the message that we should give onto the people in the community. You know, now in Denmark, Helsinki, doesn't matter, beyond any borders, because we should love the music and we should still feel something when we hear and when we perform. And with that idea in mind, I want to ask you, what would be, if you would sum up, let's say, your identity right now in one word or in one catchphrase, or, you know, what you want to give on to the world through your artistry, what would that be?
One word.
It could be a phrase, it could be whatever you feel like, but what's your kind of take on?
My take. Well, I love, I use this motto a lot. It's not that I invented it. It's from the US rock and roll band called the Bell Race, but I have tattooed it on my arms.
Oh, wow.
Blues is the teacher, punk is the preacher. I think I can show you.
Wow.
Because it's like everything in rock music, like you said, that has soul. It starts with the blues. You can hear blues in rock and roll guitar playing always. So blues is the teacher. And punk, to me, punk is that you can be whatever you like. You can be all you can. But it's also really important to me that punk music, I have always loved bands that take a stand. Like punk is the preacher.
That is crazy, man. I love that. And with that, I guess I would want you to tell us your message to Copenhagen, to Denmark, and beyond the borders.
Well, I think the main message of our new album is be fucking kind. And that will be my message to everybody in Denmark, Copenhagen, and everywhere else.
And you're going to make us feel it on stage, I'm sure. I can't wait to see you guys. Like, seriously, I'm going to try my best to make a venue happen in Finland, because I'm a regular goer. I freaking love Finland as a country for music. And generally, the sentiment that you brought, even in our little interview, and I'm sure that I will feel it on stage, is just absolutely immense. So I can only wish you the best in the tour. And the best in the upcoming process of creating, because you guys are constantly on this roll, and make more music videos. Bring that energy as well to the rest of the album.
We will.